So the Manzanilla that we are going to be pairing is the Lustau Manzanilla Pasada de Sanlucar. And Manzanilla comes from the coast. It comes from Sanlucar de Barrameda, and it has a salinity to it. It also can taste of sort of chamomile. It can have green apple notes to it. This is a very old Manzanilla. It is 7 years old. Like Fino, like Amontillado, it is aged under floor, which is a biological aging process that I will chat and explore more with you on a different time. So anyway, we will crack on with this. So here's my glass of Manzanilla. Again, pale straw-like in colour. It has sort of slightly herbal notes to it and green apples. And Manzanilla is one of my favourites. Anyway, enough. So basically, pairing with Manzanilla, we're going to kick off with the ginger cream. So a similar pairing to Fino. So here's my ginger cream. And the Manzanilla. I really enjoy this pairing. If you compared it with the Fino and ginger cream, I think they're quite similar. I think they work really well. Potentially the Manzanilla brings out the ginger slightly less than the Fino, and you get more of the milk chocolate flavour and the sort of fondant texture. But I think it's a really, really interesting pairing. So next up is going to be the honey caramel. The honey caramel is created by the lovely Hazel at London Chocolate. They're based in Connaught Village. And she makes all her chocolate from the beans, and this one is coated in a Tanzania 70% chocolate that she's made. So off we go. I love it. It's so delicious. Hazel's balance of flavours and the way she produces her chocolate. Yum. Okay, on with the Manzanilla. So I really like that in the way that the Manzanilla still holds on to its salinity, which I think works as a contrast with the honey and the caramel sort of sweetness, and the darkness of the chocolate and the notes from the chocolate really get massaged by the Manzanilla. So I think it's a brilliant combination. So that's honey caramel London Chocolate, and the ginger cream, the first chocolate, was Audrey's in Hove. So now we kick off. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water. We're back on the salted walnut, which I haven't got a slice of. Here we go. Okay, so the salted walnut chocolate, yum. As you know, one of my favourites, created by William Curley. He uses phenomenal Italian couverture, and his chocolate's very much handmade. Okay, so off we go. I think you can anticipate with what I'm going to say, which is the saltiness works really well. It balances, the nuttiness balances, and the chocolate outer, the milk chocolate, again, just sort of hugs it. So I think it's a really well balanced pairing. And I love now, I'm getting more and more notes of the walnut coming through, which is really enjoyable. So I think that works well with the Manzanilla. So that's the salted walnut chocolate from William Curley. Okay, so then we have a new one, which is the lemon cream, which again is made by Hazel at London Chocolate. What I love about this lemon cream is it's really zesty. You know, there's no sweetness from the white chocolate at all. So I'm just going to tuck into a slice of that. Lemon and chocolate is one of my favourite combos, along with raspberry and chocolate. Wow. So the Manzanilla really gets on top of the lemon, because the lemon is like, as I was saying, it's almost like lemon zest. It might be lemon zest, I don't know. So the Manzanilla, with its sort of saltiness, it's like sort of chamomile, slightly sort of apple notes, really brings out the lemon. And you know, some people could question, does the lemon over flavour, you know, overtake the Manzanilla? Potentially, yes, but I think the dark chocolate earths it back down again, and therefore I think it's a really good combination. So that is the lemon white from London Chocolate. Okay, so there's just a couple more. There is the maple pecan chocolate from Pump Street. Again, you know, I've talked about what the bar does and the flavours it delivers. So let's just carry on and pair it. Very similar to Fino. Again, it brings out the flavour of the salt, the nut, the chocolate, the slightly yeastiness that you get with Fino and Manzanilla, I feel, from the aging process. Really brings out the flavours even more. So I think it's a really interesting pairing to do. And what I love is you get the texture of the nuts as well. So that the nutty flavour carries on your palate alongside the Manzanilla. So that's the maple pecan bar from Pump Street Bakery. And then finally, there are so many more that I could do with Manzanilla. I'm going to go for the apricot cream. The apricot cream is another fondant by Audrey's Chocolates. Yum. I mean, it's why I think sherry matches so well with almonds and marzipan. I know this isn't a marzipan, but you think of the apricot. To me, the apricot with its kernel, it's so similar, and it's just got that, that fruity, soft, unique flavour really of apricot. I don't think you can compare it to anything. It's one of the most heavenly treats when they're in season to just have a fresh apricot. And it really works with the Manzanilla. The balance, I think, is there. Again, a bit like the lemon white chocolate, the apricot is plumped up, the apricot comes forward. The chocolate, the milk chocolate, more in the background, but sort of hugs it again. But the Manzanilla, I think, is really happy with this chocolate. Really happy indeed. So that is the apricot cream. So those were the pairings for Manzanilla. Again, there are a couple more that I could have paired. The cherry and tonka bean chocolate, which I'll be pairing with other sherries, is phenomenal with it too. And also the dark caramelized hazelnut from Pump Street works really well too. So yeah, you'll get to know all these chocolates by the end of the tasting.